Hey, what's up everybody? Nick here. Welcome back to Batman Arkham Asylum Remastered. And this video is probably going to be titled Underground. And that's because this section, in case you're using this as a walkthrough, this is the complete underground section. So what just happened is we just fought Killer Croc and we went to the Batcave, and now we are underground, and what's happening is Joker's trying to put his Titan toxin into the Gotham water supply. And so what we're going to end up doing is we're going to shut down the water pumps so that we can stop that distribution of the toxin. And then the main part in this section, the part that's probably going to give people the most trouble, is there's a part where you come to this room and there's like 3 freight elevators and there's a Titan boss fight that you have to do, but there's also a ton of henchmen in the boss fight as well. That's a pretty difficult fight. Actually, it's probably the toughest part in the game, believe it or not, even though it's only video 9 of 11. And so if you're looking for that section, if you're looking for help, feel free to skip straight there. But otherwise, until we get there, there's a couple things that I want to talk about. One is going to be mostly for the other YouTube creators out there that subscribe and that are watching this. The other, I can't actually remember off the top of my head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the first topic, and maybe it'll last the whole time, or maybe it'll jog my memory and I'll remember what the second thing I wanted to talk about was. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was motivation. So for those of you out there that do make YouTube videos, what is it that motivates you to keep going on your channel? So for example, a little while ago during the summer, I started experimenting with making Let's Plays, right? And the Let's Plays were going well. The people who were watching them, they said that they enjoyed them, and they said that I was entertaining and that they had fun watching. But the thing is, it came to a point where I was publishing these Let's Plays, and they were only getting like 4 views. And at the end of the day, I didn't have anything to complain about because I just enjoy playing video games, and so I didn't lose anything in the process. But, speaking realistically, editing Let's Plays, at least the style of Let's Plays that I was making, editing Let's Plays, it's a lot more work than editing walkthroughs. So for these walkthroughs, there's really not much editing involved. What I do is I play the game, I upload all the footage, and then I just cut out all of my deaths, and I try to make it one fluid gameplay experience. And then I go through again, and I isolate the cutscenes so that I know not to talk over them when I'm doing commentary, and then I go through and do my voiceovers. And so, the editing that's involved in making these walkthroughs is not much at all. It's nothing that couldn't be done in Windows Movie Maker. That's not what I use. In case you want to know, I use Wondershare Filmora. But the point being, editing Let's Plays takes a lot more work, and I subscribe to this one guy on YouTube, and he uploads a new Let's Play every single day, and he puts so much work into them, but they only end up getting a handful of views. And when that was occurring for me, I just really lost my motivation, because it's like, having fun playing games is one thing, sure, but when you put all this effort into filming it and recording it and editing it, and then only 5 people watch it, it is a little discouraging. And I didn't have enough motivation to carry through with that. I kind of wanted to look for a different approach to my channel with something else that I had a lot of fun doing. So I kind of just want to know, for you YouTube creators out there, if you experience things like that, where you publish these videos and you're just not getting a lot of views, how do you stay motivated to keep doing that? So for example, like my last walkthrough, my Gears of War 4 walkthrough, when I published Act 3, it just blew up. It got like 1,000 views in under a week, and all these people were loving it. And the game was really hard, and I almost gave up a couple times, but once I started getting all of that positive support from Act 3, that was really the motivation I needed to complete the game on Acts 4 and 5, and now it turned out to be it turned out to be my most successful series on YouTube, and you know, it's unbelievable. It shot me up in a matter of 3 weeks. My Gears of War 4 playlist shot me up from 108 subscribers to, I think right now, I have like 375 or 374. And so obviously that was a huge chunk of motivation. But then on the other end of the spectrum, right now I'm doing my Arkham Asylum playthrough. And like I said, I love this game, and I'm gonna play this game no matter what. So I'm not losing anything by playing this game, but I am going through and doing all this commentary, and the past couple of videos haven't had a large amount of views, and that's okay. You know, I said it at the beginning of the series. I didn't expect these videos to get a lot of views because this is an older game that people have probably lost interest in, and most people don't need help beating the game on hard. So I didn't come into this expecting a lot of views. But at the same time, you know, when you publish these videos, you know, you do care. You know, I care about my videos, and I put a lot of effort into them, and I enjoy doing this, but sometimes when the view count's not exactly where you want it to be, it's easy to kind of drop in motivation a little bit. And the thing that's motivated me most right now is that the new Call of Duty game is coming out in a matter of days, and I'm really hoping to get my hands on that, make a veteran difficulty walkthrough, and then put it up on YouTube, and hopefully, you know, have fun playing it. It looks like a fun game, but, you know, it'll be a good opportunity to grow my channel a little bit more. And yeah, so I really just kind of want to know for you other YouTubers, how do you stay motivated? Do you do something personally, or are there certain YouTubers that you watch that really kind of inspire you to stay doing what you're doing? Yeah, just kind of curious. So anyway, real quick to intervene with some actual gameplay commentary, we're going to come to this room here, which is a pretty large stealth encounter, and here's what I think you should do. First, you should take out this guy, the first guy that you saw me take out. And then if you do it quick enough, you won't get caught. And what's going to happen is now all of the enemies are going to converge on that guy, except for 2 of them. So you see 2 guys here are going to, for some reason, they're going to go sit in the control room together. And what you can do is you can take out your Ultra Bat Claw now, and you can rip out the floor from underneath them, and that is an easy knockout for 2 of the enemies. But that's very loud, and so what you're going to want to do is right away you're going to want to open this vent. And you see there, I stalled. I took like 2 seconds to find that vent, and those 2 seconds almost cost me my life. So you see here, they were able to see me right when I went into the vent, and they actually got some shots off. So if you want to avoid that, just make sure you know where that vent is right away, and if you do open it the second you break that floor, you'll be safe, no problem. And then from there, now it becomes kind of a standard stealth encounter. Nothing much to worry about. Just let the guys disperse, take them out one by one. Use your sonic batarang to get one guy isolated from the rest. You know, standard tips apply here. Now it's nothing that difficult. And luckily, I remembered the second. I remembered the second thing I wanted to talk about. I've been looking lately for new YouTubers to not new YouTubers as in like new creators, but I just mean like I've been looking for channels that I haven't watched before that looked interesting and that I wanted to subscribe to, namely non-gaming channels. So I've said that, you know, a couple of you guys know that I'm a student in physics. I go to college and I'm studying physics, so a lot of the videos I watch on YouTube are physics and math related. I watch a number of gaming videos, like I subscribe to PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, and Markiplier. But I like to kind of have a varied subscription list, and I just found a channel that was the exact type of thing I was looking for, and it's called Brave Wilderness, and I think that channel has around 4 million subscribers, so it's obviously a pretty big channel. But those videos are so awesome. So for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, Brave Wilderness, there's this guy who is an adventurer and animal expert named Coyote Peterson. And he basically travels the world with his crew, and he does various things. He shares his knowledge on animals and highlights different things. But the really cool thing is he he inflicts a lot of pain on himself. So he'll catch these crazy looking insects and these crazy animals, and he'll purposely have them sting him or bite him to showcase how powerful these animals are. And it's just a really entertaining series. He's a really knowledgeable and entertaining guy. And at the end of the videos, they always release the animals back into the environment. So that's something that's kind of important to me. And yeah, it's a fantastic channel. And I found it at just the right time. Like, I've been really looking for new entertaining channels to follow. And I came across that, and it just does the job perfectly. And that's something that really interests me, too. If I hadn't gone into physics, I might have gone into something to do with animals. I really like animals. I'm a huge dog person, and so what he does is just really fascinating to me, and I love the channel. So, you know, if you're also looking for new channels to subscribe to, and if you've never seen Brave Wilderness, sorry, I don't want to butcher the name. I would recommend searching it on YouTube. It's definitely a fun channel to subscribe to. But yeah, so perfect timing, because now we are coming to probably what I would call the hardest section in the game, believe it or not. It's not even the final boss fight. But we're going to come to this really small room right here. And there's these 3 freight elevators, and you can see that all of these electronic gates are shut. So we are trapped in this room. And what's going to happen is a Titan is going to fall down the middle elevator, and we're going to have to fight the Titan. No big deal. But then, throughout the fight, the other 2 freight elevators are going to bring down groups of henchmen. And normally, again, it wouldn't be that much of a problem, but this room is just so unbelievably small that it does get pretty hard to keep track of everybody. So I'm going to try to just give you some standard tips. Obviously, what you're going to do right off the bat is you're going to want to try to lower this Titan's health as much as possible before the henchmen even show up. So you see here, I even got some extra punches in there. I'm trying to take this guy out fast, but now the henchmen show up. And so what you're going to want to do, the one benefit here is that the Titan can hurt the henchmen for you. If he charges at you, if you put the henchman in between you and the Titan, he'll charge into them. So you see right there, I got my batarang off extremely late, and I took a pretty big hit. But what will happen is once you get the Titan's health lowered down 1 bar, you'll be able to hop on his back, and you'll be able to run around here swinging at the henchman. And you're going to want to take complete advantage of that. Try to get as many hits as you can because that will knock out some enemies, but it'll also do a lot of damage to them, so that once you get thrown off the Titan, you can finish them off pretty quickly. Another thing is, I would honestly recommend, don't even really worry about the henchmen. Like, don't focus on taking the henchmen out if you don't have to. Your main focus is the Titan here, because these henchmen will keep coming, I think, or at least there'll be a lot of them. But if you're able to take out the henchmen, that will put an end or if you're able to take out the Titan, that will put an end to the henchmen that are showing up. So you see here, I'm not even really swinging much at the henchmen. Instead, what I'm doing is I'm just constantly jumping over them, evading them, waiting for the Titan to charge at me. And then as soon as the Titan lets out that scream, I throw a batarang. Hopefully he knocks down a lot of the henchmen like you saw him do right there, and then I go in for my hits. And I'm just gonna really just keep doing that. Every time the Titan, every time the Titan lowers a health bar, so you see again right here, boom, he drops down to a knee, get on his back, and now start knocking out these henchmen. So yeah, this is going to take a couple of times probably. It's a pretty tough boss fight, but hopefully at this point you've grown pretty used to the game. But I would say that really the biggest tip I can give you is not to try to knock out every single henchman. Just it's way easier to use them to your advantage. So if you just let them surround you, just keep jumping over them because they can't hit you when you're jumping over them. So just keep jumping over them, stalling for time, waiting for the Titan to charge you, and then as soon as the Titan lets out that scream, that's when you want to let out your batarang. Now, again, you saw right there I took another big hit from the Titan, and that just comes from being in this really small room. So, I mean, you could do this thing almost perfectly. You could follow every tip I'm giving you, but it still ends up to just be such a small section that getting hit is probably going to happen, and even if you do things perfectly, the Titan still might be able to charge into you. And so what I'm doing here is, again, just waiting for that Titan to charge me. As soon as he charges me, I throw that batarang, let him knock down some of the henchmen. You see there, again, like I was focusing on a henchman and the Titan got the best of me. And so you're just going to want to try to avoid that. Get as many hits as you can in on the Titan. You see he's almost dead here. I even tried to get a regular punch in on him, and it's kind of bogus because you see here, like, he does not have any health. But he won't drop down to a knee until you get him to run into a wall like you see there. And so finally, once you get his health all the way down, take him out. Once you take him out, that will, I think that makes it so that no more henchmen can spawn, and then you can just treat this as a regular fist fight. And you see here, like, this section was really hard. This is the first time I've gotten down to blinking red health in the entire playlist, actually. So I think for the remainder of this game, I never get this low in health. I actually almost did this as a no-death playthrough. I think I did die like once or twice, but yeah, so there you go, guys. That's how you beat the Titan section. Just try not to focus on taking out the henchmen, but instead use them as a means to evade the Titan. And then all we're going to do here is we're just going to keep on keeping on. Now we're going to head to the Botanical Garden, which is going to be part 10 in this series, and that's where we're going to have the Poison Ivy boss fight. And then after Poison Ivy, that's the end of the game. Like, we're gonna, okay, after Poison Ivy is the last video in the game, because after Poison Ivy, we head to Joker's big party. We have a couple fights to worry about, and then we take him out. And so what you're gonna want to do is be careful here. Funny story. What you have to do here is you have to walk on to this concrete slab and spray it with explosive gel, and then you have to destroy it. Terrible story here, but in the old version of this game, what happened one time, you could even see it right there. Like, you could see how Batman just kind of did a really weird jump. My first time playing this game, what happened was I was stuck on that Titan boss fight for like 2 days, and then I finally beat it. And I got to this part here, and when I made that jump in this elevator shaft, I got stuck, and the game glitched on me, and I was just literally stuck in midair. And I sat there for like 20 minutes trying to get him unstuck, but nothing I did worked, and I ended up having to restart the checkpoint, and unbelievably, it didn't give me a checkpoint after defeating the Titan. So after like 2 days of being stuck on that section, a glitch ended up making me have to redo it all, and I had to do that whole boss fight over again. And it was just it was a terrible experience. But it's really weird, though. You'll find it's not uncommon to find that, like, you could be stuck on a section for days, but then as soon as you beat it once, beating it again is not that hard for some reason. I don't know if it's like that kind of mental gain of confidence that you get when you beat a section, but like, even when I had to restart the checkpoint, I ended up beating it on like my first try afterwards. And I don't know, that's just kind of odd. I think that's pretty common for players. Like, another thing is sometimes when you're stuck on a section, and sometimes you could be stuck on a section for a really long time, and then you finally will look up a walkthrough for it, and then as soon as you watch the walkthrough, you'll end up getting it on like your first or second try. And it's weird because, like, it seems like you don't even do anything differently, but it's almost like just seeing the fact that someone else was able to beat it is enough to tell you, like, okay, it is possible, I can do it. So last part to this video here, there's just 2 snipers you're going to want to take out before you head into the Botanical Garden. You can see in the last section I actually just ignored one of the snipers, which you can do, but he might end up shooting you in the back if you're not careful, so you can take him out if you want to, but I was just kind of trying to rush through this part. But yeah, so just what you want to make sure here is wait for that other sniper to turn his back, and then you can take this one out here, and then glide across and finish off that other sniper. So, and yeah, so once you do that, like I said, there's not much left to do in this game. There's the Poison Ivy boss fight, which is It actually is kind of a tough boss fight, so there is a little bit of a couple of things. I'm really stuttering today. There's a couple of things you can do to improve your performance on that boss fight. And then after that, it's Joker's party, which is the end of the game. There's a couple fights, and then there's the final showdown between you and the Joker. And then it's the end of the game. You'll get your trophy or achievement, and all will be good. Another series will have been completed on my channel, and yeah. So anyway, guys, head through here. Keep taking out these pods as you come to them, and we're gonna ascend the staircase taking us to the Botanical Gardens. I don't think there's any other snipers. There might be one sniper. Okay, yeah. So there are still 2 snipers you got to worry about. This game kind of just wants to slow you down to finish off the dialogue you hear in the background. But take down this sniper here, then of course just glide across and take out the other one so that he doesn't shoot you in the back, and that will pretty much be the end. So I'll take this chance to say thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you get the chance. Leave a comment below letting me know what you think of this game so far. Is this game as fun as it was the first time you played it? Are you a fan of these so-called graphics improvements? I'd love to know your opinion, so just let me know in the comments below. And other than that, like I said, we are at the end of the video here. I will see you in the next video where we take down Poison Ivy. Alright, thanks for watching.
It's rude to keep a girl